We had a good life. We really did. We always had enough to eat, plenty of clothes. We weren't rich, but we had enough. Yeah, when I think back of it, I really do think we had as good a family, fun in the family, as most people do. September the 21st.
What year?
1921.
So
1921.
how old are you today?
89. 89. That's okay. I don't mind. Well, I remember my mother taking us for a walk all the way from Marshall Park Street, which was close to the schoolhouse, and we'd all walk out to see Grandpa, and that was in Mission City. He was head of railroad.
Railroad shops.
Yeah. I don't know what they called it, but he was head of it anyhow. For the man ahead of him, that was ahead of him, had gone to the beach and drowned, and then my daddy got the place there. So he was there for what, 53 years? I think 53 years before the closed up. Then he went to St. Augustine. We all dressed up and went to St. Augustine because they were going to have a party thing for him.
Retirement.
Yeah. And so we went, and they had all the talking and the carrying on, and we came out, and my brother was with me, and just me and my brother were with him. And he came out, and they had given him a little ring with a little diamond in it. So when he got outside, he said, "Jesus, 43 years for a 10-cent diamond." I never will forget that. And that was the truth. It was about the tiniest diamond you could find, but I still got it. My daddy had built three, I think it was, little cabins out there, across from where I've forgotten their names. But anyhow, Pa lived in one of those, but he was blind. Mammy's husband. Because they were separated. They never did live together for as long as I knew. But they were both here in town. And he was blind. And he would go 2 miles walking down the side of the street to get to the little grocery store and go back home, blind as a bat.
So that was Grandpa
Tuberville.
Tuberville.
Well, Mammy was a Tuberville too, but she lived by herself. Yeah, she was a Hughes before she married Tuberville. And they lived in Oak Hill when she first came here. But then, I don't know, they just separated, and she had 4 boys, and she didn't have any girls. No, she had Mama. She had my mother, and Rita. And they lived here, and they were carpenters for years and years and years here. Did carpentering all over New Smyrna. And eventually, each one of them died, and left my mother was the last one was there. And then she got sick with cancer, and she died. And in the meantime, we had moved from, I told you I was born on Canal Street, and then we moved to a little old house. Wasn't little, really. It was big enough for us, but it was close to the school on Faulkner Street. And we lived there until my other grandmother, my daddy's mother died. And she had a big old 2-story house, which is still on Palmetto Street. And we moved into that, and we stayed there until I got married. And then not long after that, my mother died. And then my daddy lived with us. And later on, he built this little house next door over here. And then later on, Kenan built this house. Since we built it out, bought this land, and it was big. And they just he hired somebody to build it, and we moved in, and my dad lived right next door. So we were close enough to take care of him till he got sick. And well, after he was sick quite a while, he had a, what do you call it, a stroke. And my oldest brother took him to Miami to stay down there with him. And he finally died down there. And so we've been here ever since. E.K. and Grandma Morris and Grandpa Morris and me and Kennan went out to spend the night, and we just took our blankets and pillows, and we got us a good place to lay down. And in the middle of the night, here come the cows, and they just stepped over us. So we had to get up and shake everything and get kind of straightened out again, but they got the cows away. That was kind of a kooky night, cowy night. And then we went one time with Grandma Morris, and Andy went with us. And Kennan and Grandma and Kennan and Grandpa went off to hunt and left us to fish along this canal. So we fished, and here come a pile of more cows. And we climbed up the trees, and the cows got by all right. And then we got down.
I don't know why you like cows so much, Mother. You got a problem
I guess
with cows.
So. Andy was with us, and he climbed up the tree with us too. That was my brother, baby brother. We had a sand driveway through two hard things, and everybody come to our drive things to play, and we played baseball, we played football, we had swings, we had built this big thing that you jump off and get onto a bag, sandbag they call them, sack swings. Yeah, we had and we built a big thing we could, and a ladder to go up there so we could get up high and go on that. We had fun with that. And then the next door neighbor moved in all around the street, and they had two boys, and they had a house, and then they had a garage in back with a thing around the top of it, a bridge, kind of a porch. And we played slingshots. Yeah, that's what we fought with. The one get up in the trees, and we'd get up in the. We had fights. We had a lot of children in that neighborhood. I mean, a lot of children. We'd hit each other every now and then, but not because we were quite a ways apart, because they were up high and we were down low on the porch, you know. And we had fun. We had fun.
You were the rowdy Ashton.
I was more of a tomboy, I think, than the rest of them, probably. I remember one night Kevin came home, and he said somebody was chasing him. That was Kenny, and it was the man next door. But I never would tell Daddy who it was, because I know he would beat the devil out of him. So I just kept it. He didn't hurt him, but he was chasing him, you know. He was scared. He was a little boy then. I guess the biggest thing that I can remember was E.K. climbing up the tree after Andy. They'd get into a fight, and Andy'd climb the top of the oak tree, and E.K. would try to go up there after him, but he couldn't. He couldn't make it up that high in the tree. Oh, I played tennis in high school, and he'd come down to the tennis court. He didn't play tennis. So my brother played tennis, so I played tennis in school and won a medal for the best tennis player. Well, there were only 8 of us that played, but after that, then we just went through high school, yeah. And after we graduated, we slipped off and got married, like dunces.
Where?
We even had flowers at our wedding.
What'd you wear to get married in?
A suit I'd made in high school.
What color?
Rust color. It was pretty. It was a nice suit. But after I got married, didn't go dancing anymore. Daddy said, well, get ready and we'll go learn how to dance. So we went out to learn how to dance and went inside, and everybody, the man said, come get on the floor, you know, we're going to start. And I wouldn't go. So I just got backwards. I was kind of bashful. And he said, well, let's go home then. So we went home.
So
Never did learn to dance, no. And I lost my husband, what, 4 years ago. He died real quick one night. Thank goodness he died quick. But I miss him. He was good to have around. He did a lot of work. He worked hard. He worked the railroad too. She made all my halter tops to play tennis in. And they didn't show everything though. They went around my neck. There was nothing showing.
More modest than today.
Very modest. She made beautiful clothes. Every time we'd go to Georgia to the family, they got to looking at my clothes. Teresa made and Mama made them. One was black net and had ruffles around the neck. Now Mama couldn't drive, and we tried to teach her one time, but she quit. she wouldn't drive. So then my daddy taught me how to drive, and he'd let me go round and round the corner, right in front of the hospital. So then the hospital wasn't facing like it is now. It was facing towards us. Yeah. And that old house is still there. And I don't think they've done anything with it ever since they closed it up. I had a lot of aunts and uncles here that grew up here or in this area, and there was a big crowd of Ashtons and Marses. Fill up the car, and here would come the Georgia people. So,
and what happened every time they came?
What? Oh, the toilet would break.
Yeah, the septic tank stopped up.
Oh, Lord. I like being a housewife. That's all I've ever done. Being the oldest girl in the family, I did a lot of work, housewifing, before I got one.
How old were you when you started cooking?
Oh gosh, I bet I could cook at 8 when I was 8 years old. I always helped Mama cook. I peel potatoes and I do all kind of things. I enjoyed cooking. Still like to cook. Polly Ann, yeah. And Philip and Kenny and Marco and Kevin. 5. Yeah, that was enough. That's my life, taking care of kids and cooking. It's hard to remember everybody. Good gracious, I'm old.
Well, there's a lot of us, too.
But anyhow, that's about all. And now I'm still here.